On to Britain now, which is waiting for a judgment on former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Partygate row. Johnson is not going down without a fight as far as the controversy is concerned. At a chunky cost to the taxpayer, the former leader has hired expensive lawyers to try and discredit the investigations into his behavior. Our next report getting you the complete story.
There is a fresh development in the Partygate saga. Boris Johnson's team will submit his case to the Privileges Committee, and it says that the former Prime Minister was unaware that any of his gatherings broke any rules. A committee is looking at least 4 occasions when the former PM lied to the Commons, with guarantees that all restrictions were followed. Official reports said that the breach of lockdown rules should have been obvious to Johnson. But the man in question says that there is no evidence in the report that he knowingly misled the Parliament. To show himself as being innocent, Johnson plans to reveal WhatsApp messages from senior civil servants and members of his number 10 team. The former Prime Minister has high hopes that this move would prove that he relied on the advice of his own people when he made his statements in Parliament. But that's not all. Johnson plans to showcase belief that the gatherings came under the workplace exemption of the lockdown rules. His justifications do not stop here. The former Prime Minister will hold reports by civil servant Sue Gray as false. He earlier blamed Gray for being the wrong person to lead an investigation into his case. If the 7-member Privileges Committee deems his actions as contempt of Parliament, which could mean that Johnson did lie in Parliament about his lockdown-busting parties, the chair will then impose a punishment that other MPs will get to decide, with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak expected to grant a free vote. This could also mean suspension from Parliament for 10 days, which could trigger a by-election in Johnson's seat. The question that remains unanswered is, did Johnson lie to the MPs? Although this is for the committee to answer, when Johnson will be present himself on Wednesday, there is a mountain of evidence that suggests that both he and his senior staff knew that they broke the law. To point out one major example, Johnson's Director of Communications said that he is struggling to come up with a way to adjust whatever happened in the parties under the lockdown rules. Parliamentarians say that it is very tough to interrogate Johnson, as it's always about bluff and bluster. What might be the best way to prove a former PM guilty would be to deploy the evidence in a forensic way. Soon the ball will be in the committee's court, as the rest of Britain watches on. Will the televised interrogation result deal a blow to Johnson? We'll have to wait and watch.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.